Do you want to know the best way to evaluate your decisions? Do you want a simple metric to understand, is this decision best for me, my family, and the people I love around me? Well, in this video, we're going to get into that conversation. But before we do that, hit the like and subscribe button so people just like you can find these seeds and grow with it. McDonald's sells over 550 million burgers a year just in the United States only. And roughly there are about 274 million seeds. And this research was done by Grand View Research that are sold daily. Now, seeds are sold by unit, by weight. So, for example, a bag of corn can have roughly 80,000 seeds. Now, if I was to give you a Big Mac or a seed, which one would you choose? Now, that could be a loaded question, especially if it's lunchtime. Well, that decision that you will more likely make may give you a clue to how you are making decisions and if it's really impacting you beneficially or it's taken away from you. Now, school has begun, and with school traffic, what used to take 30 minutes now takes an hour. You got to get up earlier. The kids got to get up earlier. You got to make sure they eat. Yeah, you got to make sure you leave at the right time, because it's pivotal times, especially during morning traffic, that if you leave at the time you're leaving before school is in session, you would get caught up in that morning rush hour traffic. But while I was taking my second oldest to high school and the younger ones were getting ready, we caught up on how the first day of school was going. And he alluded to me about the locker situation, because middle school, I don't believe they had a locker, but he had a locker now. And he told me that for the basketball team, which he plays basketball, that he could use their locker for the basketball team once he makes a team, which was no issue. But for school, it was an interesting twist. Now, I still don't have the facts about this, and he still wasn't clear, but he's thinking that, and he heard from a friend, that they charge $50 a year on the locker. And I just waited to see what he was going to do. I said, well, what you want to do? And of course, he wasn't looking to pay. And many of us wouldn't want to pay no $50 a year for a locker, which we think that they should give us for free. Now, I don't know why they charge, but whatever the reason is their reason. And I then told him that maybe it's just as simple as a Big Mac or a seed. Now he looked at me and was like, man, what this man talking about? We're talking about lockers, and you over here bringing up food. Now, the Big Mac is juicy. I love the sauce. But which one would you choose? The Big Mac or the seed? One is consumed and one produces. Now, if you choose the Big Mac, of course, why wouldn't you choose the Big Mac? Once you eat it, it can satisfy your hunger need. And then with the seed, what would you do with the seed? It takes work. You have to maintain it. But one actually mirrors what it means to just be a consumer, and one means to be a producer. Now, I want to read this verse, Matthew chapter 13, and it's going to be NIV version. It's going to be Matthew chapter 13, NIV, verse 31 and 32. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it's the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches. The Bible references garden and seeds all the time, and it's it's something that we may not even be thinking why they're referenced. Whenever you eat a Big Mac, the only thing that can produce from there is at that moment is satisfy your initial hunger. And the only thing after that, you had to eliminate it through waste. But for a seed, even though it is small, it can produce much. Now, I want you to think about this. If you took the bag of seeds, you can now work it, maintain it, grow it so you can eat it, sell it, and replant it for more. You can't do that with the Big Mac. And maybe the reason why our decisions are lacking substance is because we keep putting things that don't produce but only consume it. I'll give you an example. Now, my son, he didn't want to take the locker because he saw the $50 was something that he didn't see value in. But if you've been to school, even if you've been to elementary, middle school, high school, you know those backpacks can become heavy, and you're toting around all these bags that you don't need all the time. Also, $50 a year it's not even 1 cent a day. And another benefit is that you can put the books that you don't need during school and most importantly after school. So when you're coming home, you don't have to keep toting around all those subjects that you don't need to study for at the present moment. And maybe our decisions are not lacking substance because we haven't understood that the Word of God is a seed that produces. You know, when you're watching TV and you're watching these shows on Netflix and on Prime Time, on HBO Max, what they have, Peacock, they give you a initial hit. I mean, I've been there before. You know, you come home from a long day and you don't want to do nothing, you know. And now we can even access it on our phone. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to sit and chill. And when I watch the entertainment, yes, it's given to my initial desire, and I see a value in just watching the TV. But is it really giving me value? What's the benefit once the show goes off? Because the only thing I can do with shows is consume. I'm not thinking about any business. I'm just consuming the entertainment. But what if I came home, instead of watching TV, we could just read the Bible? You know, when it talks about in Matthew 6, verse 33, when it talks about seek the kingdom and its righteousness and all be added unto you, the reason why it's saying seek the kingdom, because it's establishing where our mind should be going. Now, I want to give you this parallel. In Samuel, I forgot, bro, I think it was 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 14 or 18. But it says that David acted wisely and prospered in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. And then his son Solomon, when he became king, he asked God for wisdom to lead his people right. And everything was added on to Solomon. He didn't pray for riches. Their decision to have the precepts, commandments, and laws in their hearts, and that to be their governing body, allow them to make godly decisions. You know, reading the Bible is so imperative because it comes from God's kingdom, his domain. As it is in heaven, it will be on earth, right? Think about the decision. Does the decision in the long run, does it take away from you? Or in the long run, even if it may seem like work in the beginning, can it keep producing a benefit long after you've received it? The Big Mac or the seed? Even though Big Macs are sold every day, let's say roughly 17 burgers are sold per second. we see that the seed thrives long past the burger. No matter how many Big Macs that they sell, it can never outsell a seed. One clear way that you can start making better decisions is for you to take the word of God and let the word implant the seed in you. So when it's time, you produce a bountiful harvest. And it shows up in this seed, this fruit, when it comes to bear fruit, it shows in many ways. You see to have more love, more care, more joy, more patience, more self-control, the fruit of the Spirit. So when you're bearing this fruit, it not only impacts you, but impacts everybody that you interact with on a daily, monthly, and yearly basis. So what is it going to be for you? Is it going to be the Big Mac or the seed? Whatever you choose, make sure that you're not just satisfying something that's short term, that you can only consume, that takes away from you, but you're starting to make decisions that invest in your future, not only for you, but the people you love and the people around you. Until next time.